From the Weather NorCal Command Center, this is your afternoon update.
American Door Company has been family-owned and operated for over 29 years, supplying Northern California with quality garage doors, garage door openers, and installed with the best service you'd expect from a locally owned company. We serve all of Northern California from Willows all the way up to the Oregon state line. Give us a call today.
Good afternoon, everyone. Well, the Montague Hot Air Balloon Fair started today. Had the first launch this morning. They'll be doing the night glow at 7 o'clock tonight. You can see all of the different events going on here for your Saturday. They'll be doing the next launch tomorrow morning at 7 a.m. I know my wife and I have talked about hopefully getting up there tomorrow morning. If we can get an early enough start to get out there, you will see us out there. So if you see us, be sure to come on by and say hello. We'd love to say hi to you. And of course, there will be another launch on Sunday morning. Of course, all of that is weather pending. There you can see, looking out at Crescent City, and looks like all in all, we're not seeing as much haze really across the board. I mean, even heading out toward Elk Country in Trinidad, north of Trinidad, the last few days, there's been more of a noticeable haze out there and smoke. Doesn't seem to be the case out there today, at least. We take a look at what it looks like in the valley, and also not quite as much haze here off in the distance, although there was a bit more this morning. We started to see some of that begin to clear out. All right, so here are the headlines. We do have below normal highs well into next week, with more smoke, more haze going into the weekend, unfortunately, just depending on where you are. And we're going to see our first atmospheric river of the season. Should be here sometime around the end of the weekend and beginning of next week. Well, the big talk is the autumnal equinox, or really first day of fall. But we're going to get into the specifics on why technically today is not really the first full day of fall. We'll get into that in a second. But the reason we have seasons is because the Earth is tilted on its axis. It depends on the time of the year where it is as it revolves around the sun. Okay? So let's take a look at the autumnal equinox. Now, again, remember I was talking about how people are saying today is the first day of fall. I've been kind of having some fun with some of my relatives on a group text saying, they said, happy first day of fall. I said, well, technically it's not fall until tonight. In fact, on the West Coast, it's not until 11:50 tonight. So it will only be about 10 minutes of fall before we get into really the first full day of fall, which will be tomorrow. Again, getting in the technical aspect of it. But the Earth's axis is tilted neither toward nor away from the sun. So typically, on average, for both north and south, you have the same amount of daylight, about 12 hours of daylight, 12 hours of night. Now, that varies. It's not 100%, 12 hours on either end, but it's pretty close. And then, of course, after today, those days will start getting shorter. Let's talk about the smoke forecast. And really what I want to really point out here as we go into this evening, we're going to see a big plume of smoke coming in from the fires, making their way eastward into western Siskiyou County. You'll also notice the kind of wide area of haze pretty much over most, if not all, of Northern California. Right now, we go into Saturday morning. This is the part that I'm a little concerned about because, of course, as you know, I was talking about the Montague Hot Air Balloon Fair. Looks like we're going to see just this little pocket of smoke over that area, and then the rest of us seeing that haze. It looks like as we go into Saturday afternoon, some of that smoke will start to dissipate, but for the most part, still hazy out there for the first half of the day on Saturday and possibly into Saturday afternoon. This right here, area of low pressure, look at that. It has scooted way off to the east, and that's why our winds have died down, but we've got more activity coming in from the west. That's going to impact our weather, but not until the second half of the weekend. Here's Saturday, 5 p.m. It's dry. It's dry all day long. We'll start to see some of the clouds begin to filter in late in the day on Saturday, but I think everyone, including the coast, will be dry through the day on Saturday. All right, now things get a little bit more interesting. Here's Sunday morning, 6 a.m. We're seeing a few initial pushes of moisture coming through, most likely won't amount to much Saturday night, but there you can see the main band of moisture still off to the west here Sunday morning. Okay, let's take you to Sunday at about 5 p.m. You see how it kind of starts to push off to the east. Now we're seeing some showers mainly for the coast. We could see a few stray showers here and there for the rest of us, but it's not going to be a lot. This is not the main push of moisture pushing on through. Okay, so now I want to show you that setup that we're going to be seeing here. So you can see right here, this is an atmospheric river. Should be here sometime around midday, noon. And there you can clearly see that stream of moisture right into Northern California. Now, it won't be here for long, and it will dive to the south, but we'll see another week, possibly another week, atmospheric river coming in early Wednesday morning. Could bring some of us a little bit of rainfall, but not everyone. In particular, most likely the coast and even parts of Siskiyou County. So let's take a look at the long range here. And we're going to take you now into Sunday night into Monday. Here's Monday morning, 9 a.m. We're seeing that first initial band of rain kind of coming on in. Then 5 p.m. it kind of pushes eastward into Trinity County and into Siskiyou County. But notice off to the east through, the day on Monday should be dry. But then by Monday night, we begin to see some of that come into the valley. You can see it's breaking apart at this point, though. It's just not as much rain. And then Tuesday morning, early Tuesday morning, it's in the eastern mountains and Modoc County. And then it looks like kind of dries out Tuesday. Remember that weak atmospheric river on Wednesday? Well, there it is. It's not going to bring a ton of rain, but if it will bring rain, it's going to be on the coast, and not to mention western Siskiyou County as well. And then toward the end of the week, Thursday, Friday of next week, at this point, looking fairly dry. Rainfall totals, yeah, there it is. It's getting pretty impressive. I mean, we're upwards of 1 inch to close to 3 inches in some areas here for the north coast, right? But as you start heading eastward, notice you start seeing less and less rainfall. Not nearly as much rain in the eastern mountains, but, Bernie might see some decent amounts of rainfall. Could see over 1/10 of an inch of rain for some of us in the valley as well. But with this amount of rainfall, there is a bit of a concern, and that's why there is a flood watch for the areas in green right here. Now, it's going to be in effect for Sunday afternoon through Monday evening. It could lead to mudslides, debris flows. There's going to be some localized flooding. A lot of flood-prone areas could see some flooding as well. So this is something we need to be aware of if you're going to be in that area here over the weekend, and in particular for Sunday afternoon and into Monday evening. All right, let's take a look at our wave heights, and we're certainly seeing some improvement over the last few days, only about 4 to 5 feet. And then, of course, as we take you into your Saturday, look at this. We're going to start to see with that atmospheric river, we're probably going to start to see those wave heights begin to increase here as we go into Sunday and into Monday. All right, so here's your marine forecast for today. South winds at 5 to 10 knots, waves from the north at 5 feet at 6 seconds. Now, your low tide was at 10:46 this morning, but your high tide at 5:26 this afternoon. Still looking at the potential for some haze and smoke out there. All right, so here's what it looks like today. Beautiful day. I mean, we're talking mainly sunny skies, minus some of the haze that we will see out there. Temperatures only reaching the low 80s for the valley, and for the mountains in the 60s and 70s. For the coast, yeah, still a little hazy out there in some spots. 64 in Eureka, 63 for Crescent City and Garberville, a high of about 81 degrees. So here's your 7-day outlook, kind of region by region. There's Mount Shasta City and Siskiyou County in general. We are going to be looking at the potential of some showers as early as Sunday. It's not going to be a lot. I think the bulk of the rain will come in on Monday for pretty much everyone. A slight chance on Tuesday, and then maybe parts of Mount Shasta, chance for showers. But I do think that the eastern mountains and Modoc County should stay dry next Wednesday. Let's take a look at your 7-day outlook for the valley. And the valley is going to be looking at dry conditions here for today and tomorrow. There's a chance for a few stray showers here and there on Sunday, but nothing significant. Heavier rainfall coming in on Monday. That's when I think the bulk of the rain will move in. And then a slight chance for some stray showers, especially in the morning on Tuesday, before it dries out entirely by Wednesday, Thursday of next week. Here's your 7-day outlook for the North Coast. And we're going to be looking at dry conditions today. Mostly dry on Saturday as well. But by Saturday night, we'll begin to see some rain move in. Some showers for pretty much everyone in the North Coast, including inland and Trinity County. Better chance for the heavier rainfall coming in on Monday. And then Tuesday, a slight chance for showers. And I've included the chance for showers with that weak atmospheric river that will mainly only impact the North Coast and Siskiyou County. So there you can see Wednesday, we're going to be looking at that slight chance for showers, and then should, for the most part, dry out by the end of next week.